Okay, in today's video, I'm going to briefly explain the main differences between a flip type project and a BRRR project. So this project that we're in at the moment is one that we're keeping for our portfolio. So obviously we bought it, refurbished it, refinanced it, and it's going to be rented out tomorrow. However, today, I'm going to talk about the main differences, like I said, between a flip finish and a BRRR finish. Do me a favor though, hit the subscribe button because about 70-80% of people that watch these videos aren't subscribers. So let's head into it. So we're in the front room now at the moment, or the reception room, the lounge, whatever. This is a two-bed terrace, really. So would we have done anything different in here if it was a flip? I mean, it's been plastered throughout, new woodwork throughout, new composite door, new gas central heating. So everything here is absolutely brand new. However, one of the things that we would have done if this was a flip project is we would have probably had laminate flooring down. This at the moment now isn't like a super cheap carpet, definitely not. It's probably like a mid-range. So we would have gone for a more durable laminate flooring type thing, or possibly a thicker type carpet, really. But other than that, in here, we would have pretty much kept it the same. Apart from, when I mentioned this throughout, really, we have the single pendants. Again, full new rewire in this property. So rather than just a single pendant, we would have probably had 4, maybe 6 spots in here. Just give it that little bit of an extra finish, really. So if we head on into the bathroom now you'll notice here, especially if you've seen any of our other videos, this is the smallest terrace property that we have. So this, on the other side of there, you would expect it to be our kitchen. However, the kitchen obviously starts here. It's like an L-shaped integrated back-to-back. So it is classed as a back-to-back, even though we do have a back window. It's just, like I said, if you imagine you're looking from the roof down, you've got an aerial view. That is the front room of the other house. So come on in then. So again, this is where really you want to be spending your money, in your kitchen and in your bathroom, if you're looking to, like I said, flip your properties, really. So if you just come on in, the things that we'd look to do different here would be, this is obviously a brand new kitchen. We've got, especially the last 3 or 4 years, all of our kitchens from Howden's. What we probably would do is still stick with Howden's, but have extra finishing touches. So, you know, soft closed cupboard drawers, and doors. Probably had obviously nice finishing touches here at the top. Maybe some of the fancy lights that you see underneath there as well. Sorry. This 4-inch upstand here, we wouldn't have that if it was a flip property. It will be tiled all throughout there. Again, really just adding to the value of the property. And again, on the floor here, it's just lino, really. So we'd be wanting to make sure that this floor was all tiled throughout. Definitely. It's just, this is where people are going to see where the extra value is. We probably wouldn't have put in any dearer appliances in. However, we'd have a look at the budget to see if an extra £200-300 would massively improve the standard. And if it would, then we'd put it in there, really. But yeah, if you're looking to flip properties, you need to keep hold of them, you need to make sure you're understanding the differences on your refurb. So again, the 4-inch upstand, that wouldn't have gone, tiled throughout, making sure that the floor would be tiled as well. And possibly, let's have a look what else we would have done. Maybe have, you know, integrated a washing machine in there and that type of thing, so that it really is a turnkey property. We would also have spent some money on staging the property as well, because like this property now, I think we had about 20 people wanting to view it. We narrowed it down to about 15, and then we had 6 really, really good candidates, and obviously then we chose the best ones from that. So you'd want that type of approach when you're doing the flip properties. You want to make sure that lots of people are coming to view it, qualified people obviously, and you've got that scarcity mindset creeping in. Anyway, let's head on upstairs. So, like I said, we're just going to spend a bit of time in the bathroom now to explain what we would have done different. In here, though, walking up the stairs again, handrail would have probably remained the same. Spindles, again, throughout. And maybe, again, the carpet would have remained the same. But coming up here now, you will see just a little bit of where we would have spent additional money, where obviously we haven't on this project. However, if you haven't had a look at it yet, we'll go into this back bedroom, have a look at the From Rec to Rent Ready series, see what this property was like on week 1 and 2. Obviously, it was a full back to brick project. So what we would have done here, we'll turn this light on as well. What we would probably have done here is, like I said, just change that single pendant really for 4 spots. Nothing really majorly would have done different in here because again, it's a bedroom. It is throughout the property as well. Probably had solid or thicker doors, just to give it that extra finishing touches. So what we'll do now is we'll head into the bathroom and I'll show you now where we would have spent, so look, there it is, more money in here, because although if you have a look at this bathroom now, it is nice, clean, everything's brand new. It is a lovely bathroom, but this is where you'd want your prospective buyers to come in and think, wow, that is nice. So again, like we said before, in the kitchen, we've just put vinyl down, okay? So we'd have a decent tiled floor down in here. Strong doors throughout the property. Rather than this, which again is nice, quite durable, would have tiled all the way up there and then probably, obviously, tiled around here. Rather than just a single sink like this, we tried to get the best type of thing we could for here, including a vanity unit and so on, and maybe obviously some additional storage there, but definitely where we'd be spending the money would be on a nice bath, nice decent taps. And again, these aren't, how can I say this nicely, these aren't your super budget taps, definitely not, because obviously we did that before in the early days and they break very quickly. But we'd probably go higher end on the finishing types touches, and again, definitely tiling throughout. So if there's one thing you need to understand, hopefully from this video, what am I going to do with my properties? Am I going to flip it? Is that my exit plan, or am I going to keep hold of it? You need to really understand that from the start so that then you can spec your finish. And again, it costs £200, £250 for a plumber to come in here all day, or a joiner, or whatever it is. So those are fixed costs really, and it's going to cost the same whether or not they fit in a cheap bathroom or a dearer bathroom suite. So again, just always build that in. This is how much it's going to cost me anyway per day, per week. But if I top it up a little bit more, I then might get an additional higher value really. So what we'll do is we'll head into the front bedroom now. So let's come on through here, turn these lights on. So again, just to recap, not much really different really, just like I said, thicker doors, spots throughout, spotlights really in this room, 4, maybe 6. And possibly, like I said, really the carpet that we've got in, probably just a bit more of an upgraded carpet. So I think that's really it really. So one thing that we always suggest to our mentees on the Black Belt Property Academy is always know your end value, always know your exit plan really. So for us, when we purchased this, we knew it was such a good buy that we're just going to keep hold of it, refinance it, and put it in our portfolio. And hopefully, you know, it's a set and forget property. Hopefully, we'll just get a decent tenant in, especially over the next 5, 10, 15 years, and they'll just keep paying the rent each and every month. Meanwhile, the property is going to go up in value. But if we were to go on the other side of things and we were deciding to flip it to try and obviously get that lump of cash before, or should I say lump of cash rather than monthly rent, we would have done those extra finishes, what I suggested there, we would do in the kitchen and the bathroom. However, this is the main thing now. The smaller the property, generally, the harder it is to get such a substantial uplift. Now, if this was a 3-bed semi or a 4-bed detached, and we'd spent a lot more in the kitchen, in the bathroom, a lot more in the kitchen, then it's easier to get a larger uplift relative to the purchase price than it will be for this. Because we know around here, we've had this valued now at 140, we picked it up at 75. Nobody would be paying what currently anyway, 150, 160, definitely not 170 in today's market. Even though the market is very buoyant and so on, there's, you know, properties are selling super quick. There's always going to be a limit depending on where the market is at the moment. So I hope you made a few notes from this video. I hope it helps a few people out. Give the video a like, and like I said, please make sure you subscribe and check out the link below if you want to find out more about the Black Belt Property Academy. It's where we take white belt investors through to black belt and beyond, help them with the mindset, help them with the knowledge, help them build the portfolio, the streams of income, and ultimately the wealth. Anyway, good luck. Keep taking steps further forward. All the best.